dear Patrick, the group of Kamala Center is very, very happy that you did all these 17 days of dark retreat, in darkness for meditation. It's a very important thing, and we congratulate you. It's a big accomplishment. And, please, if you want to describe a little the condition, your previous experience before you came here, as we talked before, and please describe for normal people, for other people who wants to come, and they don't know what to expect, what to do in the darkness for meditation. How do you prepare to come here?
Okay. First, thank you for having this wonderful place here to have this experience, and how my path led me to this dark retreat. Actually, it started here a couple of years ago in a 10-day silent meditation retreat, and I felt a very substantial, very fundamental relationship to Hridaya Yoga, the spiritual heart, and it was a starting point of wanting to know everything I could grab and I could get about it, because it was something really fundamental for me. And especially related to this kind of dark retreat, I made 3 silent retreats, 10-day silent retreats before, so I had some kind of experiences how it is to be in silence and to apply techniques in meditation and sitting, and then I made one 3-day dark retreat in Mazunte, Mexico, and this was really astonishing for me, because as I finished the dark retreat after 3 days, and I came out, everything was like, everything what I perceived through my senses was feeling like a little bit fakey, not really.
Like in a movie.
Not really, like in a movie, like this photo wallpaper you have sometimes in photo studios. And everything I had felt or I perceived the last 3 days in darkness felt much more real and much more substantial and much more fundamental, deeper, and somehow more related to reality than everything I could perceive through my senses. And this was like, okay, I have to dig it. I have to dig a little bit deeper. So let's encounter this. Let's check this out. Why is this like? Why is it like this? So, and this was my kind of core. My core. To come here. And then I asked Antonetta, where can I do it? Because in Europe, and I was really, I hope that I could do it here, because I like the way it's calm here, and it's perfect conditions. The nature, the caretaking, the silence, the food. Somehow also the accumulated energy here in this place is really good, or I feel really familiar with, and I really appreciate this.
Like a home.
Yeah.
Like a womb.
Yes. So this is my previous experiences. Can you maybe repeat any other question?
The other question was, how did you find it? You told me about Antonetta, and your previous experience was your 3 silent retreats.
Yes.
And then, now let's talk about your experience here and now. I mean, in these 17 days in darkness. To begin, how was your cycle? Sleep and awake? Did you sleep a lot? Did you sleep less? On the first day, in the last days?
Yeah, so I knew from my first experience that to go into a dark retreat, if you are relaxed and if you are open, and if you are not some kind of feared or afraid of it, it's the first days are relaxation, pure relaxation. It's like going into darkness. It's like you already mentioned it, like being in this womb, being in this cozy warmth, and there's actually nothing to fear of. So, and I entered, and somehow it's an event that I like to celebrate, and to celebrate with meditation or with a hatha yoga practice or whatever. So or with only sitting or lying and being aware. Yeah. To celebrate this moment, to go out of the normal schedule and to take the time to encounter what is real, or what will happen there. And I was curious. I was also a little bit excited. So, but more in a happy way, not in a frightened or.
You look forward to see what it will be.
Yeah. And
I can't wait.
Yes,
I can't wait to go there.
So I don't had really. In the beginning, I was sleeping and I was meditating as I think nearly normal to my daily life. So maybe there was a little bit more sleep.
In the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning. But what I first decided for myself was to drop all kind of schedules.
This was my question. Did you have a schedule? Did you propose to do something in?
It's like I had some elements, and then I tried to schedule the elements, and then I recognized, okay, no, it's kind of dogmatic, and I every day or every morning or every moment, I couldn't say if it's morning or what time of the day it was. I woke up. There was another intuition for what is good now, what has to fall in place now, what has to happen now. So, and I tried to open up, and then I had some like stones or like pillars of my practice, and these pillars I changed and I mixed them up, and I also was open for no pillars, for no practice.
Do you have a hatha yoga practice?
I had a hatha yoga practice, I had a meditation practice, I had Surya Namaskara, it's a part of the hatha yoga practice. Or because it was a little bit a special practice, because I'm coming from a real agile life, so I'm cycling a lot and I'm running and I'm climbing, and so I'm used to move my body.
And now?
And so I had to find a way to
use this energy.
To use this energy, or to follow the intuition that my body, because my body is a part of me, and it's okay. So I embrace this. And so I started to build up Surya Namaskara every day, 7, 14, 28, till the end.
So, do you have a intuition? How many hours did you meditate? How many hours did you do hatha yoga or other things, or just contemplate the darkness? Percentage.
I think I had normally in the mornings I had a long meditation session for the longest, in between 2 and 4 hours, something like this. And then normally before meal I had a hatha yoga practice, and this is also normally 1.5, 2 hours, or when I made the Surya Namaskara in the end, when I had reached after 8 days or so the 112 rounds, then I don't know how long 112 rounds of Surya Namaskara.
So did you perceive the time? It's morning, no. It's evening, it's time of meal.
Yes. So like a very rough grid, a very rough timing. I perceived, like when there was noise outside, I could expect that it's day, or when it's more silent, then I could expect that it's night, or when meal was okay, it could be around 1 and 5. So it was really
unexpected.
free. Yeah, unexpected, but it wasn't exactly. It wasn't necessary, because also with the food, the ways I took, or I ate, or I took my meals, I changed nearly every day. So like there was after, because what my practice needed. So my practice sometimes needed hatha yoga. I can't eat before hatha yoga so much. So then Sometimes I eat in the evening, sometimes I eat in the morning. So it's like to encounter and to research your own intuition on this.
Let's talk about meal. One meal per day was enough for you? I mean, for you, in your constitution, your experience.
You have to clarify that it's one Romanian meal.
Big one. 2 meals, in fact.
It's 2 meals. Yeah. 1 meal in Romania is for me, and I'm 195 centimeters and 80 kilos or something, 81.
You had 80 kilos. I don't know if you have now.
But for me it's absolutely enough. So it's like I
want to talk a little more about this for a moment, because you know, in darkness maybe some people need more fresh food or more water or more something special. Did you need something like this? Fruit more or water more? Or
no, because the way the food was served was like there was a soup and something more consistent or substantial, and then there were fruits every day, and then there was water as much as I needed. So it was more like a buffet. So I could go and trip, and I could choose. So what's after my needs. So
it was fine from this point of view.
Absolutely. I really wanted a little bit so much egg.
So much egg?
Eggs. So much egg. I never ate so much eggs in my...
Depends.
Eggs and tomato. Just this, yeah.
Good. And now about your quality of the mind. How was your mind inside during retreats? It was clear, it was sharp, it was sleep, dizzy. How was your quality?
So I would say the normal... In the beginning it was really calm, and I was really relaxed, because I really enjoyed the womb, the darkness. I really enjoyed the relaxation and the time for example, to making 1 hour Bhavana Muktasana. And to have time to try things that I normally don't have time to, like being in one posture for such a long time as
you need.
Yeah, as you need. So and to feel the sensations, feel the effects of this and so on. And so I was really pleased with all this. But then over the time, the mind noticed that it stays dark for quite a few days longer. That there will be no input and no food. And then I was really agitated, but I was really grateful for this agitation, because I learned I saw really clear what kind of fiction or fictional instrument my mind is, and in which direction it propels my emotions and the mechanism inside. So it went like meditation normally walks. Like I start in the beginning, it's okay. Then I get really agitated, and then after 2 hours, it's yes. And for me really important was the Hatha Yoga practice, especially the Surya Namaskara, because I never had before so much quietness or calmness and a good entry into insights via a physical movement, via a posture, via yoga.
Did you have some fears or phobias in darkness?
No, this is maybe a good predisposition.
And how about your vitality in the darkness? Did you need? Understand you need to move more.
Yes.
This is one thing. But about your level of energy, did you feel weak or strong, or it was okay?
Until the first 3 days, until the last 3 days, I felt on a equal, balanced level of good energy, and then I because it's Surya Namaskara, then I made 1 day a break, and then I started the next 112, and so I made it a couple of times, and then I noticed that my body was a little bit drained of this drained because of this physical activity that it was too much, and then I made more pauses, or I skipped to more slower or not so demanding asanas.
Not so dynamic.
Yeah, not so dynamic, and more meditation. And so yes, there was no loss in vitality and energy.
This is good for you. Let's talk about your meditation now. Did you do the Hridaya meditation or did other techniques of meditation?
Hridaya meditation, like the classic meditation of the spiritual heart. Mm-hmm. This is my basic approach too. And then I have some other approaches that I use from time to time, intuitively also, like Tonglen. And in the beginning it was good for staying in peace with myself. Because when agitation arises, then I tend to be competitive with myself and to want to, I don't want to be agitated. Yes? And why am I agitated? And what is this part of me who's agitated? So, and Tonglen was in the beginning a good method for me to give love and peace to all these parts, to all these agitations.
Including yourself.
Including, in all aspects. So, and to embrace what's happening as a teaching. Every agitation was a kind of teaching. So Tonglen was one thing which was important in the beginning, and as I became more agitated, because I became more agitated, I started with also a simple technique, the counting method. Count from 1 to 7, 1 to 4, and so on. Yeah, calming the mind. And this was good because it was a kind of mind-related, so it was somehow connected to being active in the mind from agitation and going into calmness. So then nada, as longer as the retreat was going on, I more and more perceived nada, and nada was like there were a couple of days where nada was the only thing I in combination with the awareness of the back of the head and also the heart center. And so there were some kind of focus points which somehow started to interact, and it was like nada, the spiritual heart, and the awareness of the back of the head, and somehow also the background of silence. But this is a concept I have more to contemplate about. So yeah, there were a lot of things, and then there came some insights which also somehow developed itself or themselves as a kind of practice. Like after I was capable of coming back to the background of silence from agitation, I started more and more to realize what does it mean if things are transitory, or transient, if they come and go. So it's like it comes and you start to smile inside, and it goes. You start to smile inside, and then you see it. So okay, it's capable. It's all somehow it works out as a mechanism. And then in the end there was I had some, after meditation or in meditation, I started to have some headaches, so like tension in the face. Mm-hmm. And then I started to relax, especially my face, and to observe what's happening when my face is starting to contract. What's happening inside? Is it agitation? Is it posture? Is it effort? Is it competition? What is it? And then from noticing, okay, now I'm contracting, I'm relaxing. And with this relaxing, there established itself a little bit a kind of rhythm where I noticed, and the body helped me to remove the tension, or to remove the agitation, or the effort, or the competition. And so there were popping out some techniques out of itself. So like, I think this is happening to everyone who's somehow more into it. That the universe, the body, your mind, everything what's involved will support you in this
The wholeness.
The wholeness will support you in this process, so, and then you get the things you need to succeed or to make progress.
Let's see other questions.
Okay.
So,
the preparation question.
preparation.
Yeah.
What's preparation?
There was this question, how did I prepare for this dark retreat? I have, because this is something what is important, I think, if you go to a dark retreat, to have a stable daily practice, to have, like Sahajananda recommends it, 2 hours, used to sit 2 hours or 1.5 to 2 hours a day, is good, and also to have this Hatha Yoga practice, and to what also I found really stabilizing was to read, so to be into the scriptures, like whatever you're interested in. My intuition, my last audio book I consumed was Eckhart Tolle, for example.
Eckhart Tolle.
And it really brought me the nada in this moment. So there, your practice is like, well, my practice was mirroring me through this process. So.
How long was this preparation? Days, weeks, months for this 17 days?
For this 17 days, no, I didn't had. Actually, I had not to go for 17 days in dark. I wanted to do 49 retreats, 40 day night silent retreat, but there are circumstances in my life that need my attendance, my presence, and so I really shorthanded decided 6 months ago to do this. But the first time after I left Kamala Yoga here in Romania a couple of years ago, I started to have a daily tapas from 1 hour. So
daily, 1 hour of meditation.
1 hour of meditation. So, and this was somehow clear. And then I made module 1 and I came back and said, okay, now I had this Hatha Yoga approach more. So I was, okay, I need Hatha Yoga. So I have to do 2 hours a day. Then I made more or less 2 hours a day over 7 months. Then I got a little bit loose and lost a little bit track, like for 3 or 4 months. But then I went again into retreat, and after this I made 3 hours a day, like meditation, Hatha Yoga, and reading scriptures, and so.
So you had a background of meditation and Hatha Yoga, asanas, for your life, for your every day, even if you will come or not in the retreat. Yes. It's a background, stable background of meditation.
And this, this was, or is something which was really helpful. Not to focus on, I have to do this retreat now, and then I have to prepare for it. It's like a training, it's like a camp. I have to, so because it's a little bit like special, but the daily practice, the practice when we sit and talk, or when we be in interaction with other human beings, then this is all this practice, and all this prepares for every event which is coming up. That was only important. So daily practice is everything.
What would you recommend to other people to come for a dark retreat? Do you have some recommendations for them from your experience?
Yes, be lovely with yourself in every moment as much as you everything's transient. There's nothing to fear of. And if there's fear, also the fear will go. Stick to the practice. Stick to your intuition, to your heart. If you have this approach to the spiritual heart, if you're somehow living with this open heart, then you have nothing to fear of.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and congratulations again for this accomplishment. Let's see if we have another questions.
It's good.
It's good, very good. It's enough. You have more details for
And thank you because you share with us your experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.